So we're just gonna use this then.
Oh, okay, cool.
It didn't let me do that.
25 episodes in, we learning.
You cool with that one?
Yeah. Okay. Do you know what you hit to get that?
Oh shoot, and we're live.
Oh, okay.
That was funny.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. Okay, let's adjust this so we're actually in the frame.
Got this a little closer.
Hey, people.
Hi.
Uh-oh. Okay, so I give them a few seconds to get in here. Pass me that. Let me pull it up for you. Sorry. Thank you.
Really?
Geez, you guys are coming through with the questions already. And you got in here super fast. Okay, did anybody watch the meet back at home? Damn it, I can't find my
When is your long jump? My long jump's on Wednesday.
You don't have to whisper, tell them.
Oh, my long jump's on Wednesday. Sorry, first timer. Never done it before. Hey.
Wait, it normally just pops up. We're coming, guys. We're coming.
Oh, can't wait for the 4x1. Me too.
Me too. I'm excited for it. Oh, see, I was trying to stay away from track, but you already, where I see we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. Guys, I'm just trying to pull up the live stream so that we can have our assistant read the questions so I can stay engaged instead of trying to find the questions and not do what I'm doing right now. Okay. No, go back up. Any other time, I have no problem finding it.
It's okay. We don't have anything else to do right now.
Okay, here we go. No.
There are so many track questions.
You see them already?
Yes.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, there we go. Is this how we, no. Oh, there we go. I was already on this page, sorry. Okay, so the O. There we go. I was already on this page. Awkward! The questions will come up on the side there. All right.
Okay.
So we're here. Oh gosh, we have 100 viewers already. Y'all come in when I have company. Apparently y'all don't like just me. I love it though. My ladies are the bomb. So, you guys already, I see you're addressing her already. So you guys know who this is. This is Tianna Bartoletta, which I have to apologize because last week when I was wrapping up with Allison, I was like, and next week Monday we're gonna have Tianna Madison. And I got upstairs and Michelle was like, you said Madison, her name. I was like, I know you from ever since. So my apologies on that.
It's cool. The last name is Bartoletta now with the Italian flair. But it's not your fault because people still hit me up and say, hey, do you know Tianna Madison? She long jumps and runs 100 too.
I'm not about to play.
Same person.
I'm not about to play. That's crazy. So y'all don't know that it's the same person? Like, yes, we change our looks, but I mean, you still look. Well, okay. So, like I did with Allison, I'm going to try to stay away from track. I want you guys to get to know Tianna outside of what she does amazingly, which is jump far and run fast. But I know that you guys want to ask some track questions, so we will get to that. But let's start it off with something fun. What are you watching on TV right now?
I'm trying to watch Power, but I've been horrible about either catching up with the current episode because I live in the Netherlands and I can't watch it from there.
You do? I didn't know that.
I do. I made the transition and I now live in Arnhem at the Olympic Training Center.
Okay.
The Dutch
Olympic Training. You training with Raina?
Yeah, I train with Raina and Christian and Shara. Yeah, so I live there pretty much full time, so I can't really watch the U.S. shows like I used to. Mm-hmm. Then I got here and saw that it's on Netflix, but I can't stay awake because the meet runs late, and then I hit this pillow and I'm...
Girl, be gone.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. So, about how far are you in Power?
I've only seen one episode of this current season, so I have to stay off social media or scroll really fast when I see #Power or Ghost or Tommy or Tasha or somebody needs to kill Angela or Tariq needs his butt whooped. I have to log off, switch off until I catch up.
Okay, so we can't talk about Power. What about like Insecure? Any Ratchet TV?
Yes. What's Ratchet TV?
Girl, sorry. Like Basketball Wives,
no,
Atlanta Housewives.
No,
okay.
I can't do it. That just brings me down to me. Insecure though, I watch.
Okay, how do you feel about that one?
I love that show.
Okay,
I love it a lot.
Are you up to date on that one? What? The soundtrack?
Do you not know about the soundtrack?
No.
Girl, iTunes.
Wait, who's on the soundtrack?
Like any song
iTunes?
that if
Wait
you
a minute,
ever...
hold on. You're not on Spotify? Wait.
No.
Not like Spotify is paying me or anything, but yeah.
No, but if you've ever watched an episode and you find yourself kind of like
always
rocking, that they put that music on a playlist and then they sell it as a soundtrack to the show.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, HBO.
I feel like I'm learning so much here. Like, I didn't know you lived in the Netherlands now. The soundtrack, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked Allison this and she was like, I don't really know. Do you identify more with Issa or Molly?
Issa for sure.
Really?
I am an awkward black girl.
Really?
Oh my goodness, yes. I grew up and I was the only black girl in a class, in the school basically, of all Caucasian students, and I honestly didn't even know I was black until I got to middle school and they told me, and then that totally changed my identity, and then I had to learn how to navigate like both worlds.
Yeah.
Like, and that was actually quite difficult for me, and I still am like, I still walk that line a little bit, so I'm still very awkward.
That's funny because I feel like I can move the camera down a little bit. I'm like very into this conversation that I'm not even paying attention to how. Okay, there we go. That's better.
Right, cool.
I actually went to an all-white Catholic school up until the 8th grade as well, and I knew that I was like black and it was different, but it was a culture shock for me when I went to high school and it was all blacks and Dominicans, and I got there and I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, what do I do? I got teased for how I talked.
Me too.
Yeah. And then funny, my mom's side of the family, I had this joke because they all got here yesterday and we took a family picture. So I've been showing the picture to some people and I'm like, I don't look like I fit in, right? Because everybody in my family is dark on my mom's side of the family. And then I'm the light-skinned one. But I swear to you, I was probably like 26, 27 before I realized, like, hey, I'm the odd man out. And I said something to my mom and she was like, I used to worry that you would feel like a complex because you were so much lighter than the rest of them, and I was like, I really didn't realize.
Yeah, that's not something you usually notice for yourself. Somebody else points it out.
Yeah,
and then it becomes an issue later.
Yeah, or people used to ask me if I was adopted, and I'll be like, what? I look just like my mom. What are you talking about? So okay, sorry. So have you seen the movie Girls Trip yet?
I have not. I've been here. Okay, so funny story.
Funny
story. I didn't go to training camp, but I was in Arnhem, Netherlands, and I went to the movie theater and I thought maybe they'll have it. They have a movie called like Girls Night Out or something. Same number of people, but all white women, and I was like, is this the like European release?
No, it was.
It was a totally different movie, but I thought I was like, okay.
Which was insane because back at home they were, I guess because you're in the Netherlands you wouldn't know, but I think that movie came out like a week before Girls Trip.
Oh, okay.
But Black Girl Magic, everybody was so excited that Girls Trip did like 30 million the first weekend. I heard that. And that movie had only did like 20. So, but I feel like it's without giving away too much, it's not a chick flick. it's anyone can go see it. White, black, male, female. Yeah. Like, it was an amazing movie. So
I've actually heard really good things, so I'll see it after this.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it. Okay, so this is okay, no. I'll ask this question first. Do you have any, like, theme songs? What's on your iTunes right now?
Oh. My playlist is so ratchet.
So no ratchet TV, but ratchet music.
No,
okay.
It's so bad.
It's not bad.
It's so bad that, like, I feel like I get this question all the time at, like, corporate speaking engagements, and there's always that awkward silence, like, do I tell these businessmen that I listen to, like, Meek Mill? Like, they're not even gonna know that.
But I feel like some of them probably actually listen to it. Don't you feel like? I feel like everyone has their alter ego.
Everyone has a public and private playlist.
Exactly.
My private playlist is, before, especially long jump competitions, is really, really dirty. And it makes me angry to listen to. Like, if I can't make an involuntary stank face when I'm listening, like, if I can't do that, then I'm not listening to it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Me too.
So bad.
Pretty girls like trap music.
Trap girls like trap music.
Yes. So, this question was posed on Twitter, and I'm sorry, I should have jotted your name down because the question was so awesome. Allison and I got the question of putting together an all-star 4x4, any country. Mm-hmm. So, what's your all-star 4x1? He did have some stipulations. He had one American, a British, Jamaican, and French.
Which is difficult.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have to include myself.
Of course. Hands down.
So, okay. So, me on lead off, and then what's the other country?
British.
Okay. Do I have to go in order? I would put Christine Aron.
Yeah.
You remember her?
Yeah.
On second leg. Third leg. What's the other country?
We got Jamaica and Great Britain left.
Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They do have sprinters. I'm sorry. Okay.
No.
Dina,
and it's all time,
Dina Asher Smith, because I don't pay attention to UK sprinting, so I don't really know the history. And then for Jamaica, Shelly Ann at her best. Shelly Ann at her best. Yeah. I would put her on anchor. Yeah. That would be my team.
Okay, and then no stipulations. Like, you're just pure all-star team. Like, any four that you want to pick.
My world record team.
Oh.
I mean.
Boom! That's it.
That is the all-star team.
That is it. Done. All right. What questions do we have coming from our viewers here?
We have a bunch of questions. A lot of them are related, obviously, to the upcoming 4x1 issue. If we're trying to skip past track, somebody would like to know how many languages you speak.
I speak 3 languages.
Fluently?
Conversationally fluent. Yes, English, obviously, Italian, and Spanish. Although Italian is getting a little rusty because I haven't been speaking
practicing it. Yeah. I wish I knew how to speak another language.
Rosetta Stone.
I have, like, broken patois, but that's not that's English. It's just, it's that just a different accent. And I understand it more than I can speak. What's next?
We're not addressing the track stuff, right?
You can,
I have about 30 questions related to who's running the 4x1. Are you running the pop off of the 4x1? What's going on?
I'm going to answer that for her. We're not giving you guys our secrets. Like, real talk, we don't know.
That's really, we don't know.
We don't know. We're practicing and this is 4x4 too. Like, we're practicing to get acquainted with one another. We don't all train together, so we have to go through that phase of getting acquainted with one another, getting the camaraderie, and when the time comes to make the final call will be made, but we don't know.
What is your regular routine?
That's so general.
Yeah, that's really general. Guys,
what? Curly hair routine? Like, track, pre-meet routine, daily routine?
It doesn't specify.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I can cook, bake.
What's your best dish?
I don't have a best dish. So what I do is I have a pretty ridiculous collection of cookbooks. And like
I feel like you're a reader though.
I am.
Like when I see you, you're always reading.
Yeah, and I read cookbooks like they're novels. And
Really?
then I'll just choose a dish to try to make, and I end up surprising myself that I can make these dishes from these cookbooks. So that's one of my hidden talents. I was in 2 musicals as a kid. I can sing, but I don't like to sing in public.
I feel like she needs to sing for us now.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I didn't want to lie to y'all, but I'm not gonna do it. No.
How could you tell us that and
not
then not
gonna
hit
do
a
it.
note for us?
I'm sorry.
Okay, fine.
I have an easy question and a hard question. Which one you want?
Both.
Easy question from Jenny Mendoza. What is your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration comes from childhood and always kind of feeling like I had to prove myself. So it's really an internal fuel source that I have because I never feel like I am enough. You know what I mean? So I'm never satiated. I'm never satisfied. So I'm always setting some goal that could either like prove that I'm good enough or like force me to become Tianna 2.0, and then I would feel like I was good enough. So there's always this drive to keep
better.
Yeah.
And I read your caption, was it today, where you said that you're always striving to be the better Tianna.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like you haven't even jumped your best yet, which I love because I'm like, I feel like we as women, I don't want to say particular age because I still feel young.
Me too.
And I feel like we get asked the question, so like, are you thinking about retirement? And it's like, why? I feel like I haven't.
Like, I just figured this out.
Yeah. So I love that. When I saw that today, I was like, man, that's dope. Like,
yeah.
And you're right. Like, we're always seeking our worthiness and that we're good enough and that we can do whatever we set our minds to.
Exactly. So. And then not so much in the sprints, but definitely in the long jump, my motto is like, physics doesn't care how you feel, and physics doesn't care how old you are. Mm-hmm. Physics cares about whether you can execute. Mm-hmm. And as long as you can continue to execute, you can do this on your worst day or your best day at 21 mm-hmm. or 41. So that's how I feel. So.
Yeah. I love it.
Deja White would like to know, is your husband still your coach? And how does that work for your guys' relationship dynamic?
My husband was never my coach.
I was going to say, was he ever a coach?
My coach has always been Raina Ryder. My husband is also no longer my husband. Bombshell.
Wait, did we just get like
breaking news?
Whoa! Tea time is taking off. We are getting breaking news, y'all. Wait
oh my God. Wow, and you're super petty for asking that question.
Wait.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so, I don't even. I'm gonna let you just do your thing here because I wasn't prepared for that.
So anyway, to answer the question that was asked, he was never my husband. He
Wait, no, never your coach.
No, I'm sorry. Never my coach. I'm sorry. Never my coach. My coach has always been Raina Ryder. But in the Tumbleweed Track Club, which is what we call our training group, there are so many athletes that require Raina's attention that he would step in and help monitor my warm-up and stuff like that. So people would mistakenly think he was my coach. But no, he was just trying to help Raina out and get me through the warm-up while he tended to other people in the training group.
Which I think is pretty normal in track and field. I mean, we're an individual sport that has to share our coaches at times. And I mean, at times, in like even in our training group, we the older ones. Mm-hmm. I just said I don't like referring to us as the older ones, but we're always, you know, coach can coach who he wants to coach.
I know.
See, this is why I don't like reading the questions and talking because I lose focus. But your coach can coach who he wants to coach because at the end of the day, he's making a living just as much as you are.
Exactly.
So you kind of have to be respectful that, you know, there will come a time that I will move on. So he has to build his stable. But at the same time, it's like, but hold on now. How many of us are you going to have? Because I need my attention.
Right.
So it's cool when you do have someone that can step in and knows what you do and, you know, help out in that way. So that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Any more?
Oh, yeah. After that. Let's go in order. Andrew Jones wants to know, do you all troll Allison on her 5 billion shoe collection?
No.
Nobody's judging because we all have our own little...
We have our things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are Bose headphones. I have so many in every
What?
color, and like if they get a new one, and I just bought a new one the week before, I will buy the new one.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
I'm really
Okay,
bad.
Bose, you need to sponsor her. Um, what's my thing? I mean, I think I have a lot of shoes too, or a lot of like sneakers, obviously. And I mean, I'm honest about it. I get them for free. So,
Yeah.
you know, and then I do have a lot of clothes, which the older I get, I'm starting to realize that, like I hold on to stuff and like I have to go through my closet and
You're
I'm like,
not a hoarder, are you?
you probably,
Fashion hoarder?
I hate to admit it, but I think some of it comes from, I mentioned I went to a Catholic school, so I had my uniform and I didn't have a lot of clothes.
Self-expression was muted for a while. Yep,
I think now I find myself, oh no, I don't want to give that away because I wore this to this, or this is gonna come back into style, and I'm like, you gotta get over that. This is getting out of hand.
You would love what I did today then. This morning, I went to a boutique menswear shop,
and I love
and
wearing men's clothes too.
I made a suit, a 3-piece suit from scratch. All the swatches and fabrics. Oh my gosh, it was an amazing experience.
I would have been like a kid in a candy store.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Just,
and I mean, it's the UK. They have the best tailors, right?
Weirdest interaction with a fan.
oh, I got one. You need
You
time
go
to think
first,
about
yeah.
it. I had a fan walk up to me and kiss me.
What?
Yes.
On the lips?
Not on the lips. It was on the cheek. But it was like, you know how they like wait outside of our hotels,
yeah.
which I think is insane.
They're out there right now.
Yeah. He just walked up to me and just kissed me, and it happened so fast. I'm not a confrontational person.
Nah, he would have got a right hook followed by a left jab.
I wish that was my reaction. Excuse me, but I was just so blown away. Like, oh my god! Like, yeah. So that was the weirdest interaction I've
think
had.
Mine is that this woman basically threw her child over the rail for me to catch and take a picture with out of me, like I was Jesus Christ. Like I would impart to her child some magical talents. Yeah, that was crazy because I would never do that. And it was ridiculous trying to get the kid back up there. I mean, like, it was quite a drop. It's like, it's quite a drop.
It's not funny.
It's not
but
funny,
I'm just thinking about this in my head. Like, it's so funny, though, because Michelle and I were talking, and Michelle was saying, Michelle started her YouTube channel, so go follow her, The Shot Diva. But we were talking about doing a video on, like, fan etiquette. Like, first of all, our world now, social media makes the world so small. Everyone feels like they know you, and it's like, whoa, love you, appreciate the support, but back up, give me my space. So, but someone throwing their child over, like,
I mean, that was a lot. That was intense.
Dang. Okay.
That was a lot.
We'll take one more question before we move on to the next round.
Enrique Torres wants to know, what struggles, if any, did you have when you first started running track, or was it natural for you?
I didn't just run track at the beginning. I also played volleyball and basketball. I didn't know that. Yeah,
I'm learning so much.
I only chose track and field because my dad knocked on my bedroom door when I was in high school and was like, yeah, so me and your mom are not paying for college, so figure out how you're going to get there for free. And so I was like, can't really overhand serve. Ball keeps getting caught in the net. Probably not going to make it for volleyball. Too fast, ball handling skills are not that great. Basketball, I keep outrunning the dribble, have to come back and get the ball, lose the advantage.
I've never heard anyone say that. I'm outrunning the ball.
Yes,
I love it.
I had to,
track girls for you.
Giving up the complete fast break advantage because I got to go back and get the ball because I ran past it. So I figured track and field is my best chance. So then I focused on track and field. It came naturally to me because I'm a natural athlete and both my parents are. But I chose the long jump because that day was the first time I'd been exposed to track and field. Track coach said, runners over here, field events over here. I was like, wherever the runners are not, I'm going that way. So I chose field events. I didn't want to run. I didn't want to sprint. I didn't want to do anything like that. Then I chose the long jump, thinking sand, short run up, I could do that. that's how I chose the long jump. And it's like the rest is history. But of course, I was forced into the sprints after that.
I mean, I can tell you though, like, you were made for the long jump, because I remember you at Tennessee, and I went to South Carolina. Were you a year ahead of me?
No, I think we were
in the same class, and I just remember seeing you jump and on the 4x1, and I was like, man, her approach is just so like, you just look like you're bounding down the track, like, just.
It's because I'm crazy. It's because
you gotta be a little bit crazy to do this though.
It's kind of scary a little bit to be running that fast and then all of a sudden have to switch gears and then go vertical when you were previously moving horizontally. But I'm missing something that says this doesn't make sense.
You know what? You know what? You know what I just thought about? World Relays when this year, because I was standing in the mix zone after the relay, and first of all, you're poised and just handling that, and you were just like, look, I was just running too fast for myself, and I just lost control and fell. And I was like, when I was standing there listening, I was like, yo, I get it. Because, like, when I'm doing 30-meter sprints at practice, sometimes it does feel like, oh, my God, I'm going to fall.
Or it's totally like in a NASCAR race, and then they hit the corner, and, like, the wheels just come off the car.
But, man, you be coming around that turn.
And I'm telling you, I whipped around that turn, and it happened so fast. I thought it was my fault. Like, I just, like, lost control because I felt like I was gaining speed. And that's unusual. How are you still gaining speed at the end of your run when you're supposed to be passing the time?
Yeah.
But then I walked away with, like, this Brazilian elbow-sized bruise in my gut where she hit me, and that's why I actually spun out on the relay. Yeah.
Which adrenaline is a crazy thing, because
again.
how do you not notice that? Look, somebody said that too. The Brazilian struck again. But how do you not notice that? But it makes sense, because it's like, even when you're driving a fast car, if you're driving fast, the slightest touch is going to throw it out of whack.
And it took me like 10 meters to fall, and then like another 10 meters to stop moving once I hit the track. That's how much momentum I had. That was crazy.
Dang. Okay, so we're going to play a game of Would You Rather. I did this with Allison as well, and I thought it was fun, so I said, let's do it again. So, would you rather look like a fish or smell like a fish?
Oh my God. Ooh, this one is so bad. You know what? I'd rather look like a fish. I cannot tolerate bad smells.
I think everyone went there.
I cannot. I just can't do it.
Would you rather be Donald Trump or be George Bush?
I'd rather be George Bush. Like, hands down, George Bush.
Okay. Would you rather a girls' night with Oprah or Hillary Clinton?
Oprah. I love Oprah. I wish for the longest time she would adopt me. Like, just.
I think everyone wants to be Oprah's stepchild.
You be my mom.
Like, Mom, I love you. However, Oprah, if you're looking for any kids, just, you know. Okay. Do you watch House of Cards?
No, I haven't started that.
Okay, then we'll skip this one. Okay. Would you rather your significant other read your entire journal with extremely personal thoughts or secrets, or would you rather have thousands of people just read 3 pages of it?
I think thousands of people already read 3 pages of my personal journal because I have a blog and it's pretty personal. And so, like, I think that already happens.
Huh?
We have a question related to that.
What's that?
That very topic. Tianna, she checked out the Lisanne Douglas checked out the We Are Humanitarian website that you mentioned in your blog. Wasn't able to find your video yet, but she wants to know, how do you feel about opening up to the world?
Opening up to the world for me is part of the healing process, because the things that I've gone through can be shameful, and then so the truth gets buried under shame, and like once you start to open up, the shame can go away, and then you find out that it's a shared experience, right? That it's not unique to you and probably not your fault, and it'll help somebody else heal. So even though it makes me uncomfortable sometimes to push the publish button on some of the personal blogs, it does heal me also. So that's why I continue to do it.
Thanks, Lisanne. Lisanne is a regular tea timer, so thank you. Okay, just a couple more. I lost my place. Oh, okay. Would you rather never use social media again or never watch TV or movies?
Never use social media again. Yeah, because I've done that for like the last couple of years. And it honestly was a nice break, a nice way to unplug. But to give up movies, nah.
I was the same. Okay, last one that we'll do, and then we'll go back to questions before we wrap up. Would you rather use eye drops made of vinegar or use toilet paper made of sandpaper?
Eye drops made of vinegar. No. Hands down. There's no discussion about that. No.
Same.
No.
Same. Even though I can't see, so vinegar will probably make it worse. Yeah. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Everybody you guys did this on the last one. Would you rather your wig fall off in the sprint, or what was
the long jump?
Or the long jump?
I mean, I've had some technical difficulties with wigs back in the day.
You did?
Yeah, I mean...
Wait! Hold on!
I did. I probably was the first person to pull that one off, but it didn't fully fall off. So what had happened was, I was running in Istanbul, Indoor World Championships, 60-meter final.
Hold on.
And my bangs, the bangs of my wig were like back here. Like...
Okay, but your wig didn't fall off.
No, it didn't fall off.
Okay.
But it was like way back here. Like
I don't remember this.
Yeah, no, it was like not worth remembering.
Oh my god! Look, about to YouTube that. Oh man. Okay, what other questions do we have coming?
Andrew Jones wants to know if you have any nicknames.
I have several. People still call me T-Mad. I call myself TB. I get called Carrie Bradshaw for writing and my love of Sex in the City and fashion choices, sometimes questionable. Let's see. Any other nicknames? I don't have any silly nicknames. Most of them come from track and field, and I think people in my training group are kind of too afraid of me to give me some silly nicknames because of how intense I train.
But
like,
see, they're probably gonna watch this and be like, "Oh, she's actually silly," which is why I wanted to do this and like get away from talking about track, because I feel like people see us in our most intense moments, and even some of our vulnerable moments. Because like you, I do try to share, the not so glitzy, glammy side of track, but people just think that we're just these superheroes, which we are when we get out there and do our thing, but we're human beings too.
Right, and when I'm on the track, it's like, first of all, I look that way before the 100-meter dash because I'm scared to death. Like,
are you?
I am, oh my gosh, the 100 makes me so nervous. I can do it, I can execute, but I am so scared. Like, and I know for a fact, though, I have enough confidence in my coach and my training. I know for a fact that fear will be channeled and turned into adrenaline and focus, and I can, end up running 10:78. I was scared to death then. But that's what that face is about. That's why they say my name, and I can only just stare at the camera. Like, I can't wave. I can't do anything. Like, I'm scared right now. I don't have time to greet you right now. Like, I can't do that.
I told you guys, that feeling never goes away. But I imagine as you get older, you learn how to manage it.
Yeah.
And
it's
channel
not
it
like
into...
The first time I felt that way, I was at the state championship in Ohio, and I allowed that fear to shut me down.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I didn't even try to compete.
Yeah.
But when I crossed the finish line, I was so ashamed of myself and embarrassed at how I was not able to respond to the pressure that I knew I would never do that to myself again. But that doesn't mean the fear doesn't go away. It just means you take your shot anyway. Like, you feel the fear and you do it anyway.
Amen, sister.
Jasmine F wants to know where they can read your blogs.
My blog is at theycallmetb.com.
Let me write that down, because I didn't.
Deontay Smith wants to know.
Hey Z.
What ways did you get so quick, and what is the one thing that you have learned throughout your track and field journey?
What ways did I get so quick? Well, I have a pretty brilliant coach.
How long have you been with Raina? Sorry.
So I was with Rain in 2012. He took a job in the UK, and I didn't want to move to England then, so I hired a new coach. But Raina never really stopped coaching me. We kind of stayed in touch. So I would give him credit for 5 years of coaching me.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's been really good. I'm just an explosive. I'm like built for speed. So I just weight room stuff, short spurt stuff. That's such a loaded question because I'm too much of a nerd to answer simply. Like,
yeah.
I would rather, like,
some of the general questions, the general questions are like, you got to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah, and I don't even remember the second half of
What is the one thing you learned on your track and field journey?
It's not over until you quit, right? So I just kept chipping away, and then there have been really horrible seasons and really horrible years, and sometimes several years consecutively. But if you don't quit, there's always a chance that it comes back around. You just gotta stick with it. That's the biggest thing that I've learned.
Yeah, I mean, 2005, 2015,
yeah,
and then 2016. I mean, there's no greater testimony that it can be done.
Right.
Just keep pushing away. And by that, if some of y'all didn't catch that, Tianna won her first world championship in 2005. And then she won it again in 2015 and then won the Olympics last year in 2016. So during that time, people could have written you off, probably did write you off.
For sure.
But you kept at it and you kept chipping away at it and showed that, no, I'm still here. Y'all still got to deal with me. I'm at the table eating.
Sealy Pants has been in and out of the conversation, but she wants to know if you mentioned your ebook yet. She says it's a must read.
Oh.
You got an ebook too? What is going on here?
I did. Okay, so I have been training and competing a lot, and clearly there's a lot going on in my personal life, so I didn't do a whole marketing push about my ebook. But for those of you who are curious, I wrote an ebook for athletes called Why You're Not a Track Star. 5 reasons you aren't killing it and how to change it. It's free, and you can get it on my website, www.sprintrunjump.com. Click the link, put in your email address, and it'll get sent to your inbox.
Man, and Sealy Pants, I believe her name is Ashley. She's another one of my loyal tea timers, so thanks for that.
That was a plug.
Hey,
I wasn't even going to bring it up.
No. If there's anything else that we need to know, let us know.
I think we've covered all of them.
Okay. What else?
Right now, everything else is pretty much related to track. They want to know, another question I forgot who it was from, wanted to know what both of you guys thought about Justin being booed.
Ooh. You want to go first or you go?
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted afterwards that, like, I personally would never boo another human being, no matter what I thought about their actions, because that's just disrespect on a level I'm to a place I'm not willing to go.
Right.
I think what I found most disappointing about it is that London has some of the most loyal and knowledgeable athletics fans, and because they're knowledgeable, they know the process about these things, and so of all crowds, they're the ones that are the most aware of the situation. So to then, welcome him, especially in previous world championships, and not boo him here, but suddenly now he's the villain. I thought that it was a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah. Couple of things. Number one, Justin and I are pretty cool. We are talking about doing a tea time, so I'm going to now plug. We will try to get a tea time in between now and the 4x1 with him. But like you said, there is a process. The UK is very knowledgeable in athletics. I'm going to say this, but when I say this, know that it's coming from a good place. I think first and foremost, we had the good guy versus the bad guy, because everybody came to see Bolt, and everyone came to see Bolt win. And the fact that Justin was challenging him, and then Justin then went on to beat him because of his past, we wanted to. But I thought what Justin said was beautiful. The people that love me are here. The people that love me are watching. And that's all that matters to me. And I was in this stadium just a few years ago, and I was cheered. But tonight, they want to boo me. And so there was that. And then I also think that the media has had a part to play in the narrative that was created around that. which over here, I don't know what the broadcast is like over in the States on NBC, but on BBC, they were apologetic for how they told the story, which I then had to ask the question, would this be the same conversation had Bolt won that race?
No.
Neither here nor there, but I did ask that question. The other thing that I think is worth mentioning is while you're booing the athlete, if you have a problem, I think the problem that you have is with the system that allowed for Justin to serve his time. He did the crime. He served the time.
And returned.
And now he's doing his thing. So I think you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to how you may feel about whatever you want to feel. But I think you have a problem with the system more than you do with the athlete. Because if he's done what he was asked to do, I don't see why we can be upset with him.
Yeah, and then there's another side to the whole thing. It's like track and field is entertaining to the people who are in the stands watching, the spectators, but we don't do it for them. Like, this is like I do this for me. Like, there's something that I inherently need to prove to myself. So when I get on that runway, I am so grateful that you can be on that journey with me, but me getting out there, like, I'm battling like with myself. I'm overcoming my own demons. And so for me, that's how I saw it, because I know that I've been through hell on this throughout my track and field career. So to watch Justin do that, and we went to the same school, that, to watch him do that, what I saw was an athlete using track and field as a vehicle to overcome his own issues and find redemption for himself. And to not have that support is kind of hard.
One of the things that I say when people criticize athletes is, how would you feel if I came to your job and criticized you on the way that you do what you do? And for Justin to do what he did in the face of being booed and treated that way, I think it is a testimony to who he is and what he's had to overcome.
Exactly.
So,
what teammate inspires you to push yourself on the track?
Can it be a male? Because then I would choose my training partner, Christian Taylor. Because the thing that I find most impressive about Christian is that he's been winning for a long time, but he's
never
not
slacked
content.
off.
Yeah. And he's never ever come to a practice and been like, I really don't have to do all this because I got it.
Yeah.
Like, he's never done that, and I'm not there yet, but I think it's really impressive to still have that, because I remember what I felt like returning back to Tennessee after winning world championships, thinking like,
oh, wait, hold on.
I got it.
But let's put that into perspective. Like, I just won the world championships and I'm coming back to Tennessee. Like, because you didn't go pro right after. You waited a little while. So,
I came back to school for a semester, but I just remember everything changed. Like, my whole attitude changed. Like, get the message in the morning, 6 a.m. practice. I'm like,
no. Who are you talking to? I'm world champ. What do you mean?
Nah. And I completely stopped doing the stuff that got me to that level, but Christian has never done that.
That's what's up. I guess it's no secret I'm very close to Michelle, and Michelle and I have watched each other's journey. Like, when she threw that final throw at the Olympics last year, I cried. I was like, yo, I've just seen her push through some things and like just never be satisfied. And I've seen her she talks about how she placed in 2008 and 2007, not even like thinking about going on the senior team, to 2008, 2012, and then 16 finally capturing the gold. And through it all, she keeps her faith first and foremost. And I really admire that about Michelle.
Same.
I think this one could be for both of you guys. Favorite vacation destination?
Ooh. Well, we don't really get to vacation.
I was gonna
much.
I have to say, I haven't been on a vacation in like 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that changes this year.
Where you going?
I don't know. It's a surprise.
I went to Thailand last year and I had a blast.
Did you ride an elephant?
I did. I was a little conflicted about it though.
Oh,
because
I understand.
Yeah.
I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Because in your head you're like, yeah, you see these pictures and you know everybody does stuff for the gram.
Yep.
I'm one of them.
Flexing for the gram.
Yeah. And you're like, man, that looks so fun. That's so cool. And then we got there and we saw how the animals were being treated.
Yeah.
And we all were just kind of like,
super sad.
Is this
it's sad.
what? And then there was also a moment there where we were like, duh, they're wild animals. Like, how do they get them to tame them for us to do these things with them? You know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I remember, like, I'm really horrible about that too. I bought a fish once, and this is so stupid. Like,
I don't know where the story is going, but I'm already...
I felt so guilty when I brought the fish home and put it in a bowl. I felt like I was the worst human being in the world because, like, the bowl was so small, and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, you have nowhere to go. Like,
really?
This is horrible. I'm a horrible person. It was horrible. Yeah, like, it's awful.
I never...
I can't even have fish now without feeling guilty.
So do you do like pets at all? Do you have a dog? Or?
I have 2 dogs, Bailey and Baxter.
Oh, okay. What kind of dogs are they?
Teacup Yorkies.
Oh, they fancy. All right. I don't know how much of your time we can take up. We're at the 45-minute mark, so
I'm good.
Okay.
In the sillier realm, Cam wants to know if you guys saw the naked guy run on the track.
No.
I saw and I have no comment.
I heard he was on the bus coming back from the village too.
No comment.
Coming back from the stadium.
I will not comment.
Are you scarred?
I just know the police will not be pressing charges, and probably because you suffered enough.
Y'all didn't know Tianna was shady, did you? Oh my gosh.
What one thing would you change about athletics for the next 10 to 20 years to improve the sport?
The ability to have more than one sponsor on your uniform. That would completely change the game for us, because that's the only time during competition that you can rep your sponsors or your endorsements. And the rule that we can only have 2 on a uniform.
Oh, it's 2? Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
like
thought it was just...
it's 1 on each side.
Yeah.
So the flag sometimes takes up one, and then Nike the other. Kind of hinders the ability to kind of pitch that, like, hey, you should...
I'm marketable. Yeah.
Whose raw talent has scared you the most?
TB is afraid of no man.
Yeah, I was about to say...
Sorry. No, I'm not afraid.
Keeney Coleman has asked a few questions about natural hair. You guys are both natural hair women.
Okay.
What's going on with the hair products?
That was a question. What's going on?
It was like 6 different questions. The question specifically for you, Natasha, seems to be, what do you think about donning the trend of short hair? Do you think you set a trend with Phyllis and Carmelita and Kaylin and Whitney and Muriel all following you?
I don't know that I feel like they're following me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't what makes me do the things that I do. I don't know. I don't know if you can tell, my hair is pink. This happened yesterday. I came back to the village and everyone was like, is your hair different? And I came to Europe with braids in my hair. And I can't really, this might sound a little slighty, or I can't really say that I pay much attention to what the other girls are doing with their hair. I get inspiration from different places and then kind of piece it together to do my own thing. But I'm also not the girl that like, me and my girlfriend could buy the same outfit, and I just have the attitude like, you're not gonna do it like me, right? So
who wore it best?
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's
Well, so I'm just happy to see that more people are embracing their natural hair, because my natural hair journey was rough at the beginning. I don't know if you remember, 2012.
2012 seems to be like
it's so far away, but oh my
it
gosh,
wasn't that far away.
I mean, it was awful, and it wasn't like popular. Like you couldn't just get on YouTube and figure out what to do like you can now. So I'm really happy that it's a little more mainstream.
Yeah.
Which is why I think you're seeing more of it.
Yeah. And I don't know that I would be considered a natural because my hair is processed.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's bleached, so.
Oh.
What do you guys think about all of the young athletes going pro so early?
I personally think that it is wise to at least go to college for a year. This was a debate on one of my previous tea times where I made Allison as the reference that she's really the only successful case that we've seen. I'm aware that there are other athletes, Ajay being one, and Ajay Wilson, that is, who just recently set the American record in the 800. And then there was another person, another name that they called. But I was making the reference more so in long term, we've been able to see that. I personally just feel like I was someone who left college a year early. However, those 3 years that I was in college, I learned so much. I had so much fun. And I think that that's one of the things that lends to my longevity in this sport is that when I was 15, I was a world-class athlete, a world-class 15-year-old, but I was 15.
You're 15.
And when I was 18, I was a world-class 18-year-old, but I was 18. And I think that there is a culture that now everyone wants to go pro, and you got to respect the process.
Yeah.
We didn't wake up and end up here. We put in a lot of hard work, sweat, tears, and there's a level of maturity that you need to have at this level. So I'm a fan of going to school. I am.
Yeah, I was on the team for just 2 years at the University of Tennessee, but that entire first year I got my butt kicked every single day, every single meet. And that really, I mean, not only does it build character, but it thickens your skin. And then the next year, then I was able to go to USA Nationals with the seniors. I did the junior meet, I did the senior meet, I did, it was Olympic trials that year. Then went to international competition and then world championships. So I kind of got like a crash course, transition course from college to professional. But even still, I failed at the transition. After being in college for 2 years, I failed at the transition to going pro. It is totally different. And I mean, the leap from high school to pro is, the learning curve is much greater than from college to pro.
Yeah.
Who is the funniest person in all of track and field that you guys know?
There's so many funny people, though. And I wish you guys could see, because we do have fun in the village. I keep saying the village, we're not at the Olympics. In the hotels. Yeah.
The funniest person.
Tony McQuay is funny. My training partner, Mike T, is actually really funny. Mike Tinsley.
He's funny, yeah.
And my opinion of funny people are people who are not trying to be funny. Who they're just...
Exactly.
Ryan Wilson is funny.
I agree.
I
agree.
Yeah. But everyone has their
Everybody
own
is
little
pretty funny. I mean,
Sharika Nelvis is funny. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're in Europe.
There's
we
gotta
certain
find
coping
ways
mechanisms
to entertain ourselves. Yes.
What do you do during the off season?
What off season?
Right.
My off season is not very long, but so it takes my body 14 days at least to recognize that the season's over and unwind, and my central nervous system finally starts to get back online. So it takes me 2 weeks, which leaves me with 4 weeks left. And then I try to do nothing, but I'm not used to doing nothing. So then I'm I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to take boxing lessons. I'm going to go to spin class. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I write, I read, I cook, I eat a lot.
I eat a lot.
And then, next thing you know, you're oh, man, I got to start
training.
moving again. Yeah, so it goes by quick.
Same.
I always have a super long list of what I want to do, but it doesn't get done.
Yeah, same. I find that like the first same like the first week or two, like you, that I'm just kind of like, it's like nothing for me, but part of that process is the mental side of it. Like I'm physically drained, but I also find that, I think one of, either last year or the year before, you and I actually talked about this, where you get to a point in the season, like after World Champs, after the Olympics, you still got those last couple of meets that you're just kind of like, F it, which it ends up being some of my better races.
No, see, for me, I have to tell the meet director, I'm like, look, I trained for 2 meets this year. The first was USA National.
Yep.
The second was a championship. Like, I know you're paying me to come out here and jump 7 meters, but I don't got it.
My brain is just fried. But don't you find sometimes when you just end up, because you take all of that pressure off of yourself, that you end up surprising yourself and having fun.
You have fun, and then you actually get a little more competitive because you're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. But it's tough. Those meets are tough.
Those last few meets, I find myself that I'm just like, I'm just pushing through, just, and then I get home and it's like, I have to mentally decompress from having to be up here and up here for a while.
A long time.
And then bring myself back down to center. That's the part that I find is like the hardest, to kind of get back into the groove.
I agree.
Who is your favorite non-American athlete? Doesn't have to be track.
These questions are hard because like we're right in the middle of track season. So,
yeah,
like,
so all we're thinking is track.
With track and field stuff.
I have someone, but it's not because of his athletic ability.
What? What are we talking about? What?
No. Wait.
You just now heard yourself. You just now heard yourself.
Wait.
Okay.
I mean, he's fine. That's it. I've never. Oh my God. Now I don't even want to say it because he's someone's husband. Like David Beckham.
Oh. I mean, but he leaned into that role, didn't he?
Oh my gosh. Wow, that went left.
I don't know. Man. I would say, I don't know. It'd probably be a boxer or something.
Tianna, what is your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, I can't. I love Disney
movies. Love Disney.
Like all of, unfortunately, so the one I like the least, Princess and the Frog, which really is upsetting because that's my movie, Princess Tianna. But I went to the theater opening night with my popcorn, nachos, Sour Patch Kids, and Twizzlers, ready to watch and love this movie.
Were your expectations too high, maybe?
Maybe it was. But I remember, like, children were scared during, like, the voodoo scenes, and parents were removing them from the theater, and I was like, oh, not my movie.
I haven't seen this movie.
That's okay.
Okay. Because you're like, she's saying things, and I feel like I'm supposed to know, but I'm like, I didn't.
No, it's all right. But, no, I love all of them. I love all of them.
What is the strangest food you like to eat?
Strangest food?
I like pigtail.
I like coconut covered marshmallows.
Is that strange?
But the look on some people's faces in this room is strange. Okay.
As an upcoming college track runner, what would you be able to tell me about fitting in school and track?
Well, the term is student athlete. So being a good student comes first. That should be your top priority, and the athletic program should be structured to support you in that mission to make sure you're the best student, because the point of college is for you to leave as an intelligent and engaged citizen of the world. So that's priority numero uno, Spanish for y'all. So you should definitely work on being a student. Buy a planner and, schedule your study time. Make sure you know when your exams are. Talk to your professors and let them know who you are and that you're an athlete. And most of the time when you catch the professor one-on-one and you tell them, like, I'm doing this for the school, they are more than willing to help you. And I found that was how I got through school. I had a 3.975 GPA getting through school, so it is doable.
It is doable. Same. I can't really say that, like that was pretty much learn your time management. The thing that I always say was school came first and then of course track, but I was also social. I had a healthy social life at South Carolina, but the thing that allowed me to enjoy my social life was that I knew I took care of my schoolwork, and I knew I took care of, scoring points at the meets every weekend. So when it was time for me to hang out, I could do that because I took care of business. So,
exactly.
Time management is everything.
African would like to know, Tianna, are you trying to be a coach?
I'm not trying to be a coach. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to be a coach. I try to help athletes, and I find that I'm way too invested, and I'm living and dying with each training session, each competition, and like I'm depleted at the end of the day, and like I can't really afford that right now. So what I think my role is, especially why I wrote the ebook, is more like a mentorship, mental conditioning consultant type person, where I can like come in as needed, but I don't think I can make that full-time investment.
That's so funny that you say that, because you just said it beautifully, but that's why I say, or why I feel that I don't think that I could move on into coaching, because there's just certain things that you have to want it more than anything else. And I just see more so my high school coaches, because at this level, if you don't want it, why are you doing it?
Exactly.
But my high school and college coaches, I saw them put up with some things that I would just be like,
yeah,
you better than me, boy, because I couldn't. And then you do end up taking things on and feeling drained by the end of it. That, but I like imparting, like, because mental toughness was a thing that I had to overcome and work through. So that's something that I would, feel comfortable doing, like some sort of consulting but being a full-time coach is, I don't know if it's for me. But you put it very beautifully, like,
thank you.
That,
Chris Pearson would like to know what you guys thought about the heat in Sacramento for the Nationals.
It was hot as hell.
I loved it.
It was hot as hell.
I mean, all I had to do was 10 jumping jacks and I was warmed up.
I had to run 400 meters 3 times.
That's true. You had a lot of work.
I know it was like the first 2 days. The first day for sure was triple digits.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was hot. It was hot. But, it was hot for all of the competitors.
Right.
So,
like I said, like it was 100 degrees in all 9 lanes. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, you had to deal with it.
What would you guys say to the kids in the USA striving to be like you guys?
I always say, don't be the next Natasha Hastings.
Yeah.
Be the next
you. For sure. Yeah, I will co-sign that. Because that was one of the things that I struggled with. Like, I'm not a textbook long jumper. And so I'm not the next any other jumper that's come before me. Yes, they paved the way and they've been great role models, but I jump like how I jump. And so I think you find the event you want to do, and then you figure out what works for you and your body, and you lean into that. Like you sell out to that and develop that way.
Amen.
How do you deal with setbacks?
I basically let myself be pissed, angry, depressed.
Are we the same person? When is your birthday?
August 30th.
Okay, so you're a Gemini?
Virgo?
Okay.
Yeah.
Virgo. My birthday was July 23rd,
yes,
so I'm like, but I feel like what you're saying, I feel like you have to honor that time. You got to let yourself go through that. You have
to let yourself feel that. And then once you are able to get all that emotion out, you can objectively look at what happened, and then you basically have a checklist of like the things you did not do well and the things you did well, and then you basically go through and systematically eradicate each of those things that you screwed up, and that way you actually have a game plan for the next time. And you'll realize once you do that, you're feeling more hopeful than discouraged about what happened.
Same.
Have you guys ever had any serious injuries? And if so, how did you deal with them?
I had a knee injury in 2007 where I was jumping the long jump pit, and I was doing like a pop-up. It's hard to explain for people who've never seen it, but it was like doing an approach and then not doing a full jump, but kind of just jumping into the air off the board. And when I landed in the sand, my knee actually bent backwards instead of rotating forwards. And so even though I didn't tear any ligaments, I tore all the cartilage and the bone off the patella, so I had surgery. And the crazy thing is, I walked out of the hospital after the surgery, but my brain, like, I was done for years. Like, I was too afraid to, like, I was afraid of the long jump pit, and that is actually why I left jumping, because I just couldn't wrap my mind around.
That's right, you did,
it.
yeah. Question. Was that surgery when Jenny had surgery around the same time too? Because she, I feel like we might have talked about it recently too, where she was like, yo, she took care of me. She was like, Tianna, like, she was like, I had to go, like, I don't know if I ever got to tell you thank you. Like,
yeah, she ended up telling me in Sacramento, which was crazy.
That's
because
what it was.
For me, she really helped me out because she was so gracious.
Yeah.
During that time, I mean, here's somebody tried to take her out of a race,
Dog.
like deliberately.
Dog.
And her season's over, world championship hopes dashed. And like here she is, like being like this most amazing human being, and like I'm going through all this stuff, like I don't even have that ability to be that kind of person.
You thought that, though,
I thought
because
that.
obviously you affected her.
And so it was really interesting to hear how I affected her, and I was able to tell her how she changed me too. So I mean, everything happens for a reason. I'm thinking that's one of them.
That's so dope.
Please ask Natasha about her status with Nathaniel Mitchell.
Oh my God.
Who's
Nathaniel.
Oh.
The Great Britain. I was about to call him a stripper.
Wow, Freudian slips. What is happening?
The Great Britain sprinter who ran in the 200 tonight. There is absolutely nothing between me and Nathaniel. We did a vlog a couple weeks ago when we were in Rabat.
Okay.
And we were talking, and everyone swears up and down me and him were flirting.
Well, it's Rabat. I mean, it's like a palace on the waters.
No, don't be trying to, don't gas.
I'm just saying.
Don't gas. No.
Morocco is beautiful, though.
It is. But there is nothing going on between myself and Nathaniel.
Tianna, is Tennessee a good college to go to for 1, 2, and 400 meter sprinters?
I was when I was there. Like, I honestly cannot vouch for the program right now. I mean,
yeah, the program's totally different.
That's like being completely objective with the answer. It's totally different. So when I was in school, the men and women's athletic departments were two totally different programs. We had two different athletic directors and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the programs were not combined at all. We had different facilities, different weight rooms, everything. And now all of that has changed, and I don't even know the coaching staff anymore. So I want to say like my school is the best school, you know, but I also don't want to mislead you and when I don't really know the answer.
Yeah.
Natasha, do you think you can run sub 49?
I do. I believe that my best race is still yet to. I'm still tapping into her. So I do think I could break that 49 one day.
Tianna, if you could run any other leg on the 4x1 relay, what would it be?
Third leg. I just don't.
Yeah, third leg. I mean, with the running start on a turn, I probably would do some damage. I really like running the turn. Like, that's my thing.
I just
Like,
thought about that though, because it's like you run a crazy turn, but then you run straight to jump. So I feel like you could run any leg.
I ran third and anchor. Oh, well, anchor all through high school. Third when I got to college, and then first once I turned pro. So the only leg I haven't run is second, and that's because it's a little long.
Yeah, but you've just kind of you stamped that first leg like.
Thank you.
You just from lane one like. Whew.
What stagger?
I don't want no parts.
St. Louis girl, 1988 wants to know: do you have or want kids?
I have no children, and the reason I can't answer this question is because if I start thinking about my desire to have children, that means I'm like phasing myself out of the sport a little bit, because I think it's like, I personally feel like I would not come back to track and field after I have a baby.
Oh, for sure. I feel that way too.
I'm not coming back. I'm not going to be one of those people that pushes the stroller to the 100-meter start, like, wait here while I knock these 30s out. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I can barely focus when other people bring their children to the track. So, I think it will happen eventually, but I'm so not on that page right now.
What is the worst or least favorite bit of sporting advice you've ever been given?
Least favorite.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of, I remember our athletic director, I don't even remember his name, but it goes with the bit of crazy that you talked about that we all have to have. I remember we were having some meeting, something, it was all the sports, and he basically was like, the reality is only 1% of you are going to go on to be pro athletes. Mm-hmm. And I remember sitting there looking at him like, what? Like, how do you get off talking to us like that? You know, like, I was so offended that was what he said to us. But in my mind, I was just like, number one, I don't do well with people telling me what I can't do.
Right.
So I was just kind of like, excuse me? And then I was just like, at the time, I didn't understand what he was trying to prepare us for.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, why would you, as our athletic director, stand up here and like try to
say that?
Yeah. But I mean, I proved him wrong in my case. But what he was saying was facts. In that,
it is true.
You know,
it is true.
But yeah.
Yeah, mine would be when a coach who shall remain nameless came to my home for a home visit and asked me what I wanted. I said, I want to be number one in the world. And he said, you need to be realistic. And I said, I'm done with this visit.
I guess that's why you didn't go to that school.
And I excused myself and went up to my room, and my parents finished the visit.
So
I'm
curious.
Yes. Since then, and I hit him with one of those.
And what'd he say?
He was just like.
So you know you're gonna have to tell me when we go
like
off
doesn't
live,
happen
right?
to everybody. And it was a short while later. I mean, because I was number one just sophomore year
in college.
So it was only like 2 years, and I was just like,
How you like them apples?
On that note, what is your most memorable gold medal achieved?
For me, I think, I have two. They're really close. But my 2015 gold medal, because it was 10 years after the first one, was really special to me. It was also my birthday, and it just represented, like, you're still here. You made it back. You clawed your way back. So that medal was really special to me. Beijing. The Rio would be, like, really close second, because that's Olympic gold. I mean, an individual gold medal is, like, super special.
Yeah. This is gonna sound. We're being real, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cherish all of my medals. On the senior level, I have one individual medal from the world indoors, and it was the bronze in the 400. I'm still looking for that moment where I'm like, I've done it.
I like that.
Because I cherish as I said, I cherish every one of my medals. I'm proud of every one of my medals, but we are an individual sport. The ultimate goal is outdoors, and I'm still going after that Olympic medal. Yes, I'm going to 2020.
Yeah.
So don't ask me if I'm retiring
Right.
before then. And the world championship medal. So I haven't gotten there yet.
An interesting phrased question from Akini Morris. How do you guys feel about sharper collegiate athletes beating out the pros at nationals, then underperforming at championships?
Makes perfect sense to me. Oh, I'm sorry. I understood the question. Okay, no, but hey, I mean, for me this year especially, I had a bye to this championships. So according to the rules, I had to show up and compete. But according to me and my coach, we didn't have to be ready for nationals at all, because
you have to be ready.
I have to be ready for August. So I mean, does it like suck to be losing at that point in the career? Yes, because it's hard to explain in post interviews. It's hard to explain to spectators who don't quite understand periodization or the macrocycles or microcycles that we go through, and it is what it is. But we're pro, so we deal with it.
Yeah. I've been on both sides of that, where I was the collegiate who had the amazing season, number one all throughout the year, then went to world champs, couldn't make the final. To this year, I placed fourth at nationals. So I keep getting the question, why aren't you in the 400? Why aren't you in the 400? And it's because I placed fourth at nationals, and Allison had the bye as well. So we did have 4 ladies in the 400, and we had one young lady that Kendall Ellis, she didn't make it out of the first round, and she had an incredible season, but she had an incredibly tough season as a collegiate. It's one of those things that 10 years ago, when I was the one who, benefited, and people were like, oh, you should give up your spot because, you're probably not going to go and perform. I was in the position where I was like, no, absolutely not.
Right,
so now
you earned it.
Yeah, I earned my spot. So now that I'm on the other side of it, it's absolutely tough to watch it because, and the crazy thing is, I ran 50.11 and placed 4th, but it was the fastest that I've run in nationals since 2013.
Right. You're in the shape of your life.
You know what I mean? But 3 girls ran faster than me when I needed to run fast. The other part of that conversation is you mentioned you have to be ready for this. It's tough being an American, and we are the number 1 team for a reason. And coming here, number 1, having to, and I have to give my coach credit for this too, because on the one hand, it's kind of like, well, you underperformed, you didn't make the team when it counted, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. However, my coach got me to a place where I did run a season's best, and I ran the fastest that I've run in years past at this point. But he also had to keep in mind that while I need her to peak for this time, I also need her to peak in August.
Double peaking is hard.
And it's a very fine line of how you make that happen. And so it sometimes happens the way that it happened in my case. And I'm just having to, I'm keeping it real with you guys. I'm watching and I'm like, damn, I wish I was out there. I wish I was out there. But
I felt that way too watching the 100, because it's like I wasn't ready to sprint. I'm ready to roll now.
Yeah.
But then, but would I trade being ready then for being ready now? Not at all. Not at all.
So it's the Team USA blessing and curse all in one.
Tianna, we know Natasha wants to go for Tokyo 2020. Are you aiming for another Olympics?
I am. Yes. Short and simple answer there. Yes, absolutely.
These are just comments. What are your guys' favorite Olympics?
that we've been to.
the ones that I won.
Everybody loves winning. Like, for real. Yeah, same. Same. I mean.
Yeah. Next question.
How do you balance track life and personal life?
I'm horrible at that.
Yeah, I think there's like a little bit of a myth about what balance means. Like, I feel like people feel like balance means every day you have to have some time to do track and then personal life.
Yeah.
It's more like you take 6 months and you do track, and then you take like the other 6 months and figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. Like, this is a lifestyle, so it's like really, really hard to manage much of anything else. But you find ways. Like, I did a boat cruise this evening on the river, River Thames. Yeah, so I mean, that's nice. You gotta find ways to inject a little bit of balance, but it will only frustrate you if you attempt to go out and like force it to like try to find some work-life balance.
For sure. When I say I'm horrible at it, I mean from relationship perspectives in terms of like with my friends. I'll look up and months have gone by and I'm like, dang, girl, my bad. Like, I just get so caught up in what I'm doing and taking that personal time, that whether it's 30 minutes that I just sit in silence, read a book, or I think that that's important too. So for me, I slacken the personal relationships where I can, it even makes dating hard for me because there's times that I'm just like, you didn't do anything to me. I just need space, you know? So, yeah, that part is hard for me to balance out.
But like your true friends like will get that message from you and they're like, nothing ever happened. Like you didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Hot question in track right now. How do you feel about the possibility of competing against athletes that have elevated testosterone levels?
We are getting nitty gritty tonight. So before I answer this or go any further, I would like to say that we are speaking about human beings. So I would like to remain respectful, and I think that it's hard enough that they have to go through this in the public eye, but as the athlete that has to go against that, MJ said something tonight that I actually agreed with. Like, I was like, what is the solution? It's not something that I feel like everyone is going to be happy with the decision. Like, it's not me personally having to line up against that person or that group of people. It's kind of discouraging when you feel like you don't have a shot against that, because if I were to have their level of testosterone, what's the word I'm looking for? Synthetically, it would be considered cheating. But because you were born that way, you know, we just have to deal with it. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that this is a human rights conversation. I think we have to bear in mind that this is, and before I say that, let me say that I think that sports is a privilege. I think that being able to compete in sports is a privilege. Human rights to me is, you know, food, water, a right to be who you are, but sport is a privilege. So let me clarify that before I go any further. This is how I make my living. I'm not playing out in the sand and just out here having a blast. This is how I make my living.
What you mean playing in the sand?
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
Wait a minute.
No, I did not mean it like that. I really, in my mind, was thinking like the sand pit at the playground. I swear. Oh my gosh. See, now I just totally sound shady. No, that is not what I meant. In my mind, I was thinking like the playground. We're not out here playing. Like, we love what we're doing. We're having a good time doing what we're doing. But the fact of the matter is, this is how we are making our living. So it's a hard question for me. I do think that, and people may not agree with me on this, but I do think that we're now finding that this is more, I don't want to use the word common, but happens more than we think. So in the instances where we have the Paralympics and they compete against one another, I think that might be a plausible solution. Mm-hmm. But some people may not agree with it.
Right.
I mean, that's just me being honest to...
I'll answer the question with a question, but first I'll say I am a molecular microbiology major. Just want to throw that out there. My question is, who will decide what that level is? And how are they going to get a baseline for every female athlete in the sport to determine what's elevated and what's not?
Well, see, my understanding is that there's not an actual like level, but a ratio. If I'm correct, that is what separates, or what they use to determine male.
But
female.
Who decides that? Is like, and is
Fair.
there enough data to like corroborate that there's a certain range in which it's acceptable?
Fair.
That's my question as a nerd.
Tianna, what are your favorite...
So did we answer the question? I don't know.
I
mean, in all honesty, I feel like we're working it out ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do we know? How do we know?
Yeah.
So,
Tianna, what are your favorite books, and what ones have had the greatest influence on your life?
There's a book called Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman, I believe. That's a really good one because I am intense, but I needed to find a way to balance that intensity with like a much more zen lifestyle because I can't be on all the time. And it's easy to be on all the time, but you eventually crash if you do that. Mm-hmm. And then the other book is The Alchemist. I think that's a great parable for life. So, yeah, both of those have been life-changing.
I've been seeing a couple of people reading The Alchemist. Maybe I need to pick
No,
that
it's
up.
really, really good. Yeah, and it's a short read.
Tianna, would you rather beat the long jump world record or the 100-meter world record?
Okay, so I'd rather beat the 100-meter world record because that means that I have
not
the
answer
speed
that I was expecting
to break the long jump one eventually.
Yeah, you're a nerd. She thought that one through. Because in my mind, I was like, long jump. But, yeah, you're right.
Tianna, who do you admire the most and why?
We answered that already. Or was it just a track? It was a track question.
Yeah, this is not a track question.
We're live.
Okay, move on.
I can't answer. I don't know.
Next question. And then we're approaching the 1.5 hour mark, so we're gonna take a couple more questions and then cut this off.
Tianna, would you ever consider having a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I would consider it.
I think it would be dope because you have lots of good pointers.
Well, thank you.
Tianna, what advice do you have for all of us about life in general?
Ooh, if I had it figured out myself. No, I'm just kidding. I think, first of all, I'm a meditator. Like,
Me
I
too.
like to sit in silence. And I'm like a yogi as well. So I think that everybody needs to have that reflection time. If it's prayer for you or whatever that is, you need to take that time and like just connect and listen to yourself and then honor yourself. And you get a lot of guidance. Like, you know the answers to some of the questions that you have about your own life. You're just not comfortable sitting with that and feeling that. So just honor yourself by taking the time to recognize what it is that you feel and you need.
Are you a feminist?
Was that for Tianna?
Yeah, like, it was
No name on that one. Are you a feminist? So I guess both of you.
I mean, I think
I feel like I need to know the context of the question and the definition that they're working
from. Everyone's definition of feminist is different, to which
because some has a negative connotation,
right?
Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm pro woman for sure.
I'm pro. You're no better than me. I'm no better than you.
Yeah. Come on now, I had you do this to kill this dead space.
I hear you, but it's just a bunch of comments. They went comments. Yeah, are either of you going to the Brussels Diamond League?
Yes,
I am. Oh, okay, cool. We might have to do a season's wrap up there. Yeah.
And we are at the bottom of all comments and questions. So if you guys could wrap it there with whatever you feel like saying.
Okay. Anything you want to say?
I do love Beyonce. I see the question. So yeah, I do. I really do.
Okay. Well, we don't need to wish you good luck because we know you're going to kill it.
Thank you.
Is it in 2 days?
Is it midnight? It's on the 9th, whenever that is.
So, good luck in the long jump, and
Thank you.
Definitely be screaming for the 4x1.
I cannot wait. I'm so tired of waiting. So tired.
Girl, imagine, I don't run till the 12th, so talk about waiting.
Oh my gosh. I can barely.
Yes, but thank you for spilling some tea. I thought we was just going to sip, but boy, did she spill some tea. But we appreciate it here, right?
Yeah.
So stay tuned we got Justin. We got to figure out when we're going to get him. Also, I have, God, I'm going to mess up his name. Wade Van Niekerk confirmed. We just got to figure out when after the 200.
Logistics.
Yes.
They're asking for a new replug the book.
Oh, okay. Tell them your books.
My ebook is called Why You're Not a Track Star. 5 Reasons You Aren't Killing It and How to Change It. And you can find it at www.sprintrunjump.com.
And the blog?
Follow the link. And my blog is at theycallmetb.com.
All right. There you have it, guys. So as usual, make sure you subscribe. Keep giving me them thumbs up over there. They are appreciated. And we'll be back. More vlogs coming from, I was getting ready to say the village again, from London. And yeah.
Good night.
Peace.